G and welcome back to a brand new video, and today I am doing a dispatch tutorial for dispatcher from qualified driver to dispatcher. And so I recently became a dispatcher, and I think this week on the time of this recording, like I think 5 or 4 days ago. So and this tutorial, in this video I will be explaining how to actually pass your dispatcher training, and actually how to dispatch as well, because of course to pass you need to know how to dispatch. And so pretty much ideally you should have. This video is for people who have just passed their qualified driver training. If you're looking at what the next rank could be, this video is for you if you want to become a dispatcher. And if you're just reserved or something, or if you're going to join the dispatcher training soon, this video will be useful for you. And because also I passed first time, so hopefully I'll be able to help you out on this. So first of all, so I think what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna actually show you a demonstration on how to actually dispatch. First of all, without a guard, because usually you will not always have a guard on the train. So that's what I'm gonna do. So that's pretty much what I'm gonna do. So I'm just waiting for a train to pop up, and after that I will show you a guard demonstration with one of my fans who actually asked to do a guard demonstration with, and I'll teach you through all the steps basically. So right now a train has arrived right now, platform 3, and I'm on platform 3. So first of all, we'll go through the demonstrations. You see the off sign there? You're supposed to be able to see that when you're dispatching, and I will go through this and what that actually does. But just for a quick explanation, basically if the off sign is lit, it means that the signal is either green or amber, which means you can that means you are safe to dispatch the train. And you're just gonna move into position, and you press U to toggle the train. That's usually the train head code, but really but I'll explain what that means. Wait, can I click this? Bro, can I even click it? There we go. So train ready start, you press that. That will signal the signaler that the signal needs to be changed, but because there's no signaler, we can just click that and tell us to close the doors. So the doors close, wait for the animation to finish, and you see the indicator just turned off. That means that the doors are fully closed, so that means it's safe to dispatch the train. And it tells you on the GUI there, tells you that it's ready, and you can toggle that, remove it by pressing U and turn back on. So so that's an example of how to dispatch a train. And the whole tip thing is, you're not supposed to do any animations when dispatching, and you should not move until the train has fully left the platform. As you can see, the train fully left the platform, so we can move again. So let's go through it. So basically, look, for example, look, the train is left, and you can see that signal is red. So the off sign is obviously blank now. That means the signal is red. But that's what it means. It just tells you basically if the signal is red, green or amber, and that is very useful to you because sometimes the platforms are very long, so you won't be able to see the signal, but that's useful. And also they've got another one, I'm not sure what it's called, but these signals also tell you, these one right here, these also tell you if the signal is either red, green or amber, because basically if it's like that's basically like if it's not that, I think that's diagonal, I think it's just like that. That means the signal is in amber or green. But like if it's like horizontal, but if the line's horizontal, that means it's red. So but also sometimes platforms are short, then they don't really have an off indicator or that circle white light signal. So sometimes the platforms short, then they may only have a signal. So basically when you dispatch, you need to stay in a position where you can see the signal. And also I forgot to mention, it's very important that you actually stay in a position where like the driver can actually see your lights, because as you can see, I'll basically like that. so we'll see your light and stuff. So yeah, and now we're gonna do a guard demonstration. Okay guys, so now we're doing the dispatcher with guard demonstration. One of my fans who I've talked with on Discord has actually decided to be my guard in this video, and according to him, the person driving is his friend, is his friend, so this is really good. So what you have to do, the only difference is really with dispatching with the guard is you need to stand from the front to the middle of the train. I'm gonna stand here where I can see the guard. A bit too far. Okay, wait. Toggle U. Toggle. Okay. Train's ready. So to press train ready start. There is no signaler, so it will just say closed doors. Put my baton. Put my baton, backlight. The guard should be able to see it, and it will close the door. An indicator will go off. That means it's safe to dispatch. And then we'll blow a whistle, and then we will show our green light, and then he'll show his green light, and then he'll go into the local door, and then the train will be dispatched by the guard. And that's really all it. All you have to do, really the main difference is you have to stand from the front to the middle of the train. Also, of course, you should not move as well. And yeah, pretty easy. Yeah, so now we're gonna move on to. So now I think we're gonna show you one more demonstration, and then we'll move on to the theory, I guess. Yep. So this is a new train, so new thing. We'll do the demonstration again. So toggle U, it's ready. You press CTRS. There's a signal if there is signal to change the signal, and yeah, and you press close doors, and you can see that the indicator on the side is lit, because that means it's open, but when it's closed, the indicator will close. And also make sure you're in front signal, but I can't really because the train actually overshot, but it's fine. And you can see that the signal shows that it's green because it's close enough, but in this occasion the train overshoots, so we can see the signal. So basically things to remember is that just make sure that the driver can see your see your light, like your pan, make sure you can see the signal or like any of those signal indicators, and that's the important thing. And also make sure do not move. I'm not sure, I think that's a bit of an error people might make, because they may think when the train's finished you can move, but if you move even like a little bit, the instructor might be a bit picky and they might just make you fail. So just make sure those tips. And yeah, and I think now I think now we're going to go through like all the theory stuff, the things which they do not test you for now. So guys, now we're going to use the theory, and this is the dispatching guide version 1.4. This is dispatching guide version 1.4. This is the we just found this actually guide though, but it's here we can discuss the theory. I mean, like the things they don't test you for, because in the actual assessment, in the actual training, they don't ask you any questions. They only assess you on how you actually dispatch. So and because like they discuss that, and because there's that fame, and also because of the training, there won't be like two trains or anything, so you can't really, so you're not really tested on which trains are priority or stuff like that. So this is what I'm here for. And also and also this I discussed here, banner repeaters. Oh yeah, that's called banner repeaters. Yep, that thing. So yeah, we already discussed that already in the demonstration. So here is the head codes. These are pretty important. Head codes are train identifiers, which I explain as 4-digit codes that give information on the train stopping pattern and destination. The first number indicates stopping pattern and priority of the train, and the letter indicates destination, and the last 3 digits are randomly generated. And you should know as a driver where your head code is. You should be able to see it from your driver dashboard. And these, I think the only important thing to take from head codes is the first digit numbers, because those are the things you'll most likely only use. So basically the first digit numbers you'll have is 9 or 1 or 2 or 3. So 9 ones are express service, then non-stop express and airlink. So basically if a train has 9 as their first digit, that means they're priority. So if both trains are on, if you get 2 trains which are both on time, but one has the first digit as 9 and one has the first digit as 2, that means you should dispatch the train with the 9 digit on first. Yeah, and basically how priority goes is 9 digit trains have more priority than 1 digit trains, and 2 digit trains have more. Yeah, but 1 digit trains have more priority over 2 digit trains, and 2 digit trains have more priority over 3 digit trains. So semi-fast services that like point 1 will be Airlink Connect services, skip stations, and number 2 local services, they'll just be Connect trains or possibly Waterline trains as well. And starting services, I think they're ones which with the origin from it, where the trains that they originate from a depot. And the last 2 numbers are randomly generated, and then the second digit, which is just a letter, just tells you what their terminating destination is, which is not really important because you don't really need to know that. I mean, it's not really important for dispatching anyway. It's because like destination doesn't necessarily make it priority than others, so it's not really important. So this example, 92Z9Z49. So first character tells us express service. Then the second character Z tells us going to airport terminal 3, so 9Z49 is express service at airport terminal 3, and then express does not go to the airport, but that's just an example, so it doesn't really matter. And also we're going to explain the train ready to start thing. It just used to alert signalers that a train is ready to depart a station, and of course, like guard, there will not always be a signaler in the server. So when you press train ready to start, it may just automatically the closed door buttons may just pop up. So yeah, and also you should only press that train ready to start button. You should only press that if the signal ahead is either amber or green, and we just discussed what the off indicators and banner repeaters are. So you should know what they mean. So basically, if the off indicates lit, that means it is red. The next signal is green or amber. So you're safe to press that button. And if the banner repeater has a diagonal line on it, that means the next signal is red. The next signal is green or yellow. So you can press T ready to start. So these are priority, basically discussed that. So express service, high priority over train should be dispatched first unless no train is delayed. Same fast services, saying high priority should be dispatched first, no express service present, etc. And local services, COX, semi-sequential stocking service. We already discussed that. Basically, the best thing to take from this is just this little thing right here. Like, just all you have to do is just remember the order of priority, and then you're fine. That's all you have to take from that. And dispatching a train. We already went through the tutorial, but yeah. And also that is the delay. Oh yeah, that's the overlay if you don't remember. Like you have to toggle it, press U. Like to turn it on and off, because sometimes you want to turn it off because sometimes that dispatch overlay can be covering the signal. I did not know that during training, so I had to slightly move a bit, but I still passed anyway. But I didn't move when the train was departing anyway. So dispatching. This is important. You should be standing from the middle to the back of the train, but only if there is no guard. That is important, like middle to the back of the train. So I would just stand within the last carriage. That's what I would do. You should be able to easily see a banner repeater, off indicator, or signal. So that's important. You should be able to see one, and have to make sure that the driver is able to see your dispatch bat's light, so to make sure there's no poles or any signs are blocking the light of your bat light. Of course, pretty common sense, facing front of the train, of course, because so that the driver can see your bat light, of course. And yeah, and on the overlay you will see ready on dispatch overlay. It did show that on the demonstration, and you're supposed to click TRS train ready to start as soon as possible when you see that button. And then when you click when you click a button below to appear with dispatch written on it, but don't press it immediately. So wait for off indicator banner appear, signal to indicate a green or red caution, and click dispatch the train. And if a train overshot the signal, it will never change from red danger. Dispatch the overshooting train right away and give it priority over any other train. So yeah, but I don't know, but I think that's. But then train ready to start, it will say closed doors like it's an example. But ideally you should wait until the signal has changed if it is red, and then you can press train ready to start button. And then you can use a VIP set practice if you want. You can go on the Microsoft app to buy 80 Robux for only 79p if you want to practice. That will be enough for a VIP server, but I wouldn't really use a VIP server. The only thing I would use it for is training, so I didn't bother to buy one. And these are dispatching rules, of course. You should never leave station, never do parkour, only dispatch on the red signal if a train has overshot it. You're overdoing E-action, like no dancing, no animations when dispatching. And you should never give priority to the wrong train. And you should always dispatch in the correct place and face the correct way. Never be disrespectful, never troll. And you should ask a high rank if you're confused or anything, basically. So these are the ruling systems here. For dispatch making mistakes, disaster system dealing with them. So you may only have one warning in 1 month. If you commit a second offence within 1 month since the previous warning is issued, then you receive a demotion. However, if you get a second warning after a month has passed since the first warning, then you still don't receive a demotion as the counter warning has reset. So some offences are straight demotions though. So failing to dispatch between the middle and rear of a train, facing the wrong way, while dispatching, moving like animation dancing, not following headcode priority, jumping between platforms, disrespecting. So then demotion, all these are demotions, so dispatching from the wrong platform, red signal, dispatching red signal when train not overshoot, not understanding the train rated part system and asking asking the signal to change signal, and train station roof climbing and trespassing in the public server. Being out the sign station when on duty, riding trains on duty, holding trains for no reason like trolling, being AFK, attempting to derail trains by train surfing, pushing them for no purpose, and blocking level crossings. So also disrespect, bullying, and discord may also result in punishment rated to a dispatcher rank, and discord infractions equals dino punishment. So yeah, just don't do any of these basically, and just make sure you know how to dispatch, and you'll be fine, and you'll be able to move on hopefully to guard, and you'll hopefully work up to gain enough experience for guard training, and you'll become a guard, and next step is signaler. So yeah, this is pretty much it. This is pretty much it for the training. So now I think I'm gonna go over what actually happens in the training, the actual training, of course. Yep, so yeah, so we're gonna go over now what actually happens in the training. So I joined the training, yeah, so they actually ask you some questions about what things mean, but that does not, but if you get it wrong, it doesn't, but your answer, whether you get right or wrong, does not affect your result of passing or failing the training. It's just that so you know what they mean. Like for example, the thing they asked me about, what is the banner repeat, what's a banner repeater, what's an off repeater, some other things which I forgot, but they'll ask you some questions. And then they'll go over the theory, and they'll go over the theory and stuff. I think they'll go over the head codes. I'm pretty sure I discussed all the theory stuff in this video. And then of course they will do a demonstration. They'll do a demonstration without a guard, and they'll do they'll do a demonstration with a guard. And yeah, and they'll have people in the training with different ranks, because they'll need someone doing the driving, they'll need someone doing the signaling, and they'll need someone being a guard, and all that good old nice stuff. Oh yeah, and the good old nice stuff, and that's what they'll do. And then Yeah, and then they'll go over the practice assessments. So yeah, I think the training's at Famir. So what they do is they just check on the chat. They'll privately message you and call you up. So yeah, they'll basically what they did. So they called me up. I had to respond to dispatch at Famir, and then a train arrived. And then what I had to do, you would just have to go down to the station and do all the things what they told you to do. So you just stay pretty close to the back of the train. So I stayed near to the end of the last coach. I stood close to the train as possible without touching it. And then I got into position, and then I waited for the train to be ready, and then when it was ready, I would have checked the signal, because the platform is short enough that you can actually see the signal. So then I checked it, then I pressed train ready starts. Well, because the signal, actually, you would actually just, when the train's ready, you press train ready to start, and then you would wait for the signaler to change the signal. You wait for the train to change the signal. Wait for the signaler to change the signal, and when the signal is like green or like amber, whatever they change it to, you would press close doors, and then doors will close. Wait for the animation to go, and then you should see, and then the indicator the orange red indicator on the side of the carriage should turn off, and that confirms that the doors are fully closed. And then what you can do, you can press dispatch, and then your baton will show a green light, and then that means and that gives a signal the driver can go, and the driver goes. And you have to make sure that you're in a position that the driver can see your baton, can see your bat light, while also making sure that your backlight isn't blocked by any obstruction such as poles or stuff like that. And then you have to make sure that you do not move, until the train has fully left the platform, because if you move in a little bit and you have a picky instructor, then they might fail you for that. So make sure you do not move, and make sure you do not do any animations as well. And if you do all of those, you will pass for sure. Well, hopefully you will pass. So I think this is it for this video on dispatcher training tutorial on how to dispatch. If you actually enjoyed this video, leave a like down below and subscribe. And also and I am currently waiting to do a guard training when one's available, so I will so probably as soon as I actually pass my guard training, I'll actually do a guard training tutorial on this video. So yeah, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.